Hey, this is John Baisley from Baroness, and you're watching Vinyl Talk with Baroness.
You did it!
So your new album, Purple, is the first record that you released on your own label, Braxton Hymns. Social Justice of Vinyl Junkies would like to know if you found that there were any challenges that were unique to you operating your own label as opposed to having Relapse do all of that for you.
We have a greater sense of freedom. We don't have really anybody who's sitting there and saying that there are things that are we cannot do. It's more or less that there are a group of people who are saying we can do this, and here's what it will cost you.
At one point, you told some magazine or something that you're terrified of the majors.
No, what I'm terrified of is not the case that a major label would immediately take everything away from us, because I don't think that's possible. What tends to happen in this industry, you slowly chip away at your ethics. You make a concession for this reason, you make a concession for that reason, and the net result of that is that eventually you can have all of this beautiful creativity, independence and freedom dissolved. It's not one person that took it. It's very much a case of death by a thousand cuts. I didn't get into music because I wanted to be part of a workable model. I got into music because I like music. I love playing music. It is the place where I feel free to express myself, where verbally or in real life, those things don't come quite so easily.
In your upbringing, was vinyl something that figured prominently in the manner in which you consumed music?
I discovered vinyl through a friend of mine's father who had a vinyl collection, and the first piece of wax that I ever listened to was Zeppelin 4, which puts me probably in the majority of vinyl listeners alive.
A pretty safe bet.
At my age, I learned how to collect records because I had no other option, and the Baroness Mark I and Mark II and Mark III, all of us were from this very small town of Virginia. Mm-hmm. In order to get music, we had to order it. There wasn't a place to buy it, so we bought 7 inches, we bought 12 inches, we bought 10 inches. It was very, very rare that we would buy a CD or a tape. Those were, tapes were for making mixes that you gave to girls, and CDs were what you stole from BMG or Columbia House.
From your end, as somebody who's made many covers, and obviously you've made all of your covers as well, do you find that it impacted the manner in which you worked, or in the manner in which you operated your method as an artist?
Yeah, of course. First and foremost, when I think about album covers, there is no format but 12 by 12, unless it's a 7-inch or a 10-inch, and then it is 7 inches or 10 inches respectively. CDs are immaterial. iTunes is, I don't consider it at all. By virtue of the fact that it is a record, it requires something to hold it. It's absolutely confounding to me that you wouldn't really invest time, effort, thought, concept, theory, composition, design, and all of that into the package as much as you do with your music. It's much more difficult when somebody says Beethoven's Ninth to immediately recall the melody than it is for somebody to say Dark Side of the Moon and you go White Triangle Prism. You know what I mean? We associate things visually. So to find the synchronicity between the sonic and the visual it's a no-brainer for me.
Do you remember the first record, or do you remember, let's say, one of the first instances where you really looked at a piece of vinyl and said, like, the art impacted you in that manner, and kind of, that aha moment to say, oh, this is my canvas?
Yeah, I got a copy of Space Ritual many years ago. I'm not exactly sure how I got the record, but I found, I knew vinyl, and I finally had this thing that you had to sort of figure out how to open it first of all, and then once you open it, there was this this world inside, you know, just the sensibility of the design, the colors, the layout, the mystery there was, it almost surpassed the record in some ways.
Do you remember this one?
God, I've listened to that record so many times. That's one of the best ever. I mean, absolutely one of the best records.
Yeah, it's funny because you referred to Billy Cobham's Spectrum as one record that's okay for rock people to listen to.
But it is. That's if you know rock people, the one jazz record that they know is either going to be Birds of Fire or Spectrum. You know, like those are jazz guys playing rockish.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now one of my consistent tops, all time, game changer record for me, Keith Jarrett Concert in Coleman.
Massive.
When I heard that, my entire perception of music changed.
Are you a vinyl person now?
Yeah, I mean every night while my family eats dinner, we listen to vinyl and vinyl. When it's dinner time, she asks, "May I get a record from the shelf?" I said, "Of course, you choose."
What's the family music?
Well, dinner time tends to be Mogwai because it's very easy to eat too.
Well, until it gets to the 15th minute, and then it just starts going crazy.
I know, but you can talk. But you can talk over it, and you know, I am a huge fan. Like, there's something very sublime, and you can pay attention or you can tune out, and it's, you know, there's something enjoyable going on. You listen to Van Halen at dinner too, you know, just as frequently, or you know, or Keith Jarrett. And, you know, it doesn't matter. It's very hard to get my wife to go, you know, full in on Billy Cobham.
Yeah, that's probably not the best dinner music either.
You know, like all the splashes in China.
Do you remember the first record you bought?
I want to say it was Fugazi 13 Songs.
As a touring band, how does vinyl figure into your reality? Not only artistically, but really as a revenue stream, as merch. Is it something? Have you seen a difference over the years?
We haven't seen a difference over the years. We've consistently sold vinyl. I mean, that's always been our bread and butter. We've seen the CDs kind of, you know, ebb and flow, and you know, but we sell vinyl. When we tour, first things first, shirts and vinyl. What's a CD? You know, CD's a thing. And CD's a memento. The vinyl's something that people keep, and that has always been the case.
When you're on tour, do you ever take the time to go out and visit record shops?
I used to, but it's become so costly for me that I actually shy away from. I look, but I try not to buy because it's really hard. It's really hard to carry around that much vinyl on tour. It's really hard to justify spending that much sometimes on tour. You know, I am a musician after all. I don't make money, but yeah, I do. I go record shopping. I specifically and always make a point, you know, whenever this discussion comes up, to point out that I go to independent, local record shops because that's where music is.
What was the last record you took a chance on?
Ooh. Years ago, I was in Athens, Georgia, doing this.
Our favorite thing.
Yeah, and I saw an album cover that, to me, at the time, I had never seen before. I learned in retrospect it was quite popular at the time, but you know, something about the image on the cover captivated me, so I bought it with no expectations other than I like the cover. It's interesting. It stuck out, and that was Neutral Milk Hotel in an airplane over the sea. And you know, imagine not knowing you're going to get that record and then getting that record. It's
revelation, isn't it?
It was stupefying. I was like, oh, shit.
It's a game changer.
Yeah, this doesn't happen every day. You know, those records don't happen every day, and you wish they do, and that is what we're looking for. That's what we're all looking for. You know, if we do this, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that one record. It's just, you know.